This tutorial series is for BuildCraft version 4.2.2, the version for Minecraft 1.6.4, which is the current version of Minecraft for the Feed the Beast mod packs. What is up, guys? We are back with part 3 of our BuildCraft ModSpotlight / tutorial series, and let's get started. Alright, guys, so last episode we started working on how you can get your power used and some different machines that you can make that will help you out in the world, as well as some ways to generate fuel with using the refinery and some other odd blocks that are also in this mod pack. So now we're going to start off with one of probably the most important blocks you're going to need. This block is one of the best ways to get resources. Whoops, I just broke the chest. Pressed the wrong button. That's okay, because we need this stuff anyway. That block is the Quarry. Now, the Quarry is crafted like so. You can see it takes 2 diamond gears, a diamond pickaxe, 2 gold, and 3 iron gears, as well as a redstone. It takes 11 diamonds to make, and a lot of other resources as well. It is really expensive, but it is worth it. Trust me. Now, this block requires landmarks just like the filler. If you place it down as is, you can see it sounds like an anvil, and it has a decent sized area by default. It also works as a chunk loader, so you can make it as an expensive way to load your chunks in your world. But if you don't place it down like that and use landmarks, you can make it whatever size you want. Now, there is a maximum, and the landmarks do a really good job of showing you what that is. The maximum is 64 by 64. And if you look at the end of the blue line, way out here, that's 64. And it goes out all the way over there. That's a huge area. And before we end this, or after we're done checking out the Quarry and how it works, I'll show you what a max 1 running looks like. Or actually, we still need that. Let's make a smaller Quarry for now, though. Make it maybe right here. And then we can bring it out this way, as well as this way. And you don't need to do height, so you can just break this, right click that, you can see you have that, put the Quarry next to the block, the landmark that you placed, you can see it goes at that size. Now it tells you it will keep 4 chunks loaded while it's working. That's the chunks it's working in, as well as the chunk that it is in. Now, as with all other most other BuildCraft machines, this one needs power, and it needs a lot. So you're going to need to have a decent power system set up to run one of these. It also, if you look at the top here, it has a little hole that shoots out items. And so you're going to want to connect that to like a pipe and a giant chest or something like that. This is from a different mod, the Iron Chest mod. But you can also just pump it into a bunch of other chests that you have. So now, if we do one last thing, let's give it power. We're going to start seeing a little robot. And what that does, it's first going to clear out the area in the middle of this whole Quarry. And since there was no blocks to clear out, it's going to build a frame around the construction tape. And you can see I basically have it maxed out because I have the cheaty creative energy. And when it's about to be done, it starts slowing down. And the Quarry starts running. Now this is a maxed out speed Quarry. So if you get one of these running with a decent amount of power, then this will run at this speed. And you can see it's just tearing through items or blocks. And it's dumping them into the pipes and sending them into the chest. And that's going to do that all the way down to bedrock. Even if it hits lava, it's going to keep going. However, it will make a mess down in your Quarry, it will not stop like the mining well. So as you can see, it runs really fast, and it starts taking a bunch of inventory space. So you're going to need a lot of chests hooked up to one of these. And you can also use the diamond transport pipes, to sort the items. So say I wanted all the ingots to go, or all the ores to go in here, then the dirt, then the cobble, and stuff like that. You could use the diamond pipes to do that. Alright, so we're going to let that run for a little bit. However, I'm going to set up a max size quarry and show you what that looks like. Alright guys, the max size quarry is set up, and it's about to finish building the frame. And of course it just starts raining as I start recording. Let's go ahead and set time to 0 as well. This is the size of a max size quarry. 64 by 64. This will dig all the way down to bedrock. It's insane. When it gets done, you're going to have so many resources. However, it creates a really big, nasty hole in the middle of your world, so you're going to want to put it somewhere that you don't really care what happens to it. I personally don't want to tear up this entire world, because this is my tutorial world where I do all the tutorials on different mods. So I probably won't let this run for very long. However, you can see that it's going to take, even at max speed, it's going to take it a while to dig out this big of an area. So it will chunk load itself, which for those of you who don't know, means that when you're not near a chunk, which is, let me see if I can remember the key. Nope, I do not remember the key. Alright, anyway, it's a 16 by 16 area of a chunk is, and if you are not in the area, like, I forget how many blocks you have to be away, but if you're not in the area, things won't load. Things won't be doing anything. So if I left those machines and I went way over there, and it unloaded this area, then it would stop working. However, the quarry is its own chunk loader, which means that it will keep the chunks that it's working on and the chunk that it's in loaded the entire time. It's working until it's done. So it will constantly be going as long as it has power, which means that you gotta be careful on space. I mean, I've already almost filled up this giant, or I've got already almost a quarter of the way filling up this giant chest, and we haven't even gotten half of the top yet. You can see how massive this thing is and how long it will take to get some ores. And if you break it after your quarry's done, the pipes on the sides will start to disappear, and they'll eventually all go away. However, the giant hole you create will still be there. You can see this one's getting pretty deep already since it's smaller, and we're already getting some different ores from different mods, like some coal and apatite and amber and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and turn this off, just so it doesn't cause any lag. And let's go ahead and start with a pretty advanced machine, the one that I was talking about over there. That is the assembly table. The assembly table is basically like a way to craft certain things in BuildCraft. Certain items require an assembly table to be crafted. Those sods and the pipe plugs are two of those items that require that. Let's quickly just check to see what it requires to make this, which I believe is this one. It takes a diamond gear, 6 obsidian, and redstone. And then one other thing you're going to need is lasers, which is redstone, more diamonds, and more obsidian. Now the number of lasers is up to you. However, the more lasers that you can power, the faster this thing runs. The less lasers you power, it really can run really, really slow. Now again, I'm just using the cheaty power from thermal expansion to power my lasers, and I've got 12 of them, as you can see here, as well as there. Actually, I think I have an extra row on that one. I added 15 lasers on that one, which runs it pretty fast, honestly. I would say 9 is about the good point to be at, but if you have the power, definitely upgrade this, as it helps out a lot. And the way this works is basically you insert a recipe into the assembly table. So let's say we wanted a redstone chipset, which is an item that is used to make some of the more advanced piping things that we're going to look at in a sec. That requires redstone, and that's it actually. It just requires redstone for this. It just requires 1 redstone, and then the redstone iron chipset requires redstone and iron. You also have some red pipe wires, which require redstone and different dyes depending on what color you want. Other things you can make are redstone golden chipset, which is used with gold and redstone, the diamond chipset, which is diamond and redstone, and the pulsating chipsets, which is with an ender pearl. And then you can also make the more advanced piping things, which are called gates. And we're going to learn all about these gates in a second. These are regular ones. You have the gate, gold ore gate, iron and gate, diamond and gate, iron ore gate, diamond ore gate, and gold and gate. And that is made with all the different chipsets as well as wires. You can also upgrade those gates into a more advanced gate using pulsating chipsets and redstone iron chipsets, and those are called the target gates, and we'll be getting into all those gates as well. Now, say I wanted to craft some redstone chipsets. I have to click on that. Actually, that has some serious range. All those lasers are doing it. You can see it's making chipsets. Where is it going? Well, you're going to need an inventory right next to... Actually, it might be going in here. Yeah. I put up multiple so I can show you all the different recipes easier, but it actually can go into the inventory of the one next to it. However, if you don't have multiple of these, which you don't really need most of the time, then you can it will just deposit into the chest that it's next to. And as you can see, though, we got a bunch of redstone chipsets that it made really quickly because of all the lasers we had, which cost a lot of energy. Now, you can do that with any item you want. Say I want a pulsating chipset. Just take a second. It will realize what it wants, and it will make it. Now this one takes a lot of MJ to make one of these. So even with this many lasers at max speed, when it's blue it's max, when it's it goes down to red when it's the least amount, and anything between is going up from red. So as you can see, the pulsating chipset takes, I think it's 40,000 MJ to make 2 of those. And that probably went right here. It did. So as you can see, that's really expensive in power. It takes 40,000 MJ just to do that. Now we have the gates, and we have the target gates, which I don't need to show you how to do that. That's just basically how you craft with the assembly table. You click on the item you want. You can also queue up items. Say when it's done making all these, make some of these. Or you can unclick them to stop it. This one goes really quick. You can see it's using a bunch. And the red pipe wire, the wire does actually take an iron as well. Alright, so you might be wondering what these are. It's called an advanced crafting table. It is made with obsidian, a redstone chipset, a chest, and a crafting table. It's a little bit cheaper than the assembly table. However, it still needs lasers, which require diamonds. So basically what this does is it's an advanced version of the automatic crafting thing over there. And so what you do is you set a recipe, and then you give it the required input right here on this side. As you can see, it goes input, and the output will come out right here. Now, it can pull from an adjacent chest to fill its thing. And these can actually pull from an adjacent inventory, like their advanced crafting tables. And they only pull these items. They only pull the output, and can use those in another recipe. So you can set up a line of recipes to be made. So as you can see, we have all the gears. We want all our wood gears to be turned into diamond gears, and then we want this to be on, and we want that to go into a chest. And the only thing I have to do for this is, first I supplied all these with some ingredients, the diamonds they'll need. However, they don't have the gears. And to get that, we just need to grab some sticks. And all we have to do is put those next to this. You can see it's using power, making those really quick. And when it's done, it starts making some of these. And it starts making some of these. Starts making some gold in a second, once it gets some power from lasers. Then it'll eventually start making some diamonds. And the diamond gears are all going into a chest. So basically, we have created a system that automatically crafts diamond gears using power and advanced crafting tables. So you can make this into a pretty extensive automatic crafting system. It probably will take up a lot of space, but it definitely will be useful. And it runs pretty fast. It runs way faster than the one over there. And as long as it's getting power from lasers, you can see they're not powering up completely, and that's because they keep switching their targets. So they keep trying to decide and resetting, basically. But eventually we're just going to get a ton of diamond gears over on this side here. Alright, so the next thing we're going to talk about is a filtered buffer. This is kind of a weird machine to me. I'm not exactly sure some of the uses it could be good for, but here's the GUI. It's basically a filter for different items as well as a buffer for any systems you have. So let's quickly grab some cobble, some stone, and maybe some wood. You know what, maybe I want to grab a golden transport pipe as well as a chest, which I believe is somewhere around here. Here we go. And of course the weather starts up. Alright, so basically I have an obsidian transport pipe, and if I throw an item on there, it's going to bounce immediately off. It will not let anything go in there. Then I set the weather to clear. Oh, I didn't do slash. That would help. Alright, so what you can do is you can go into the GUI here and set up cobblestone as an allowable resource. And you can start throwing that in there. Now you can see it accepts it, but it won't accept anything else. It just spits it out. So now you can look, and the cobblestone stores here. Now if I want wood in there or something, you can also throw that in there. And you can see it stores that. But it still won't accept anything else into its inventory. Now, the main use for this, really, is if you have like a gate. And these are something that we're gonna check out a little bit more around here. However, basically you put these on pipes and you can right click them. They have a little GUI here. Some of the more advanced gates like the diamond and the autarkic, those ones are more advanced GUIs. However, this is just a basic gate. And you can see it has some gate conditionals saying like items in inventory or inventory empty. So we can say if there's items in inventory, emit a redstone signal. And so now if we get some redstone, you can see it's emitting a redstone signal. And you can attach that to something else. Now, if you say like inventory empty, it has stuff in its inventory, so it's not going to emit a redstone signal. However, if you go check, there's specific gate conditionals, which you actually need a better gate for. Let's just get a obsidian pipe real quick. You actually need a better gate to, this is the basic gate, so it has like really basic things that you can do. Let's try an autarkic gate now, which is more advanced. You can see that it gives us different options. Why is it not giving me the options? I thought it should. Oh, because this is a basic autarkic gate. Right. Okay. So we're gonna need, we need the AND gates for this one. Or the OR gates. So one of these. So now you can see that it upgrades it. When you get to iron, you also have 2 slots. Okay, now I'm confused. It should have special gate conditionals. I'm not sure if that was taken out or not. Let me quickly mess with this real quick. I thought this was supposed to work and it doesn't. And I'll be right back. Okay guys, I figured it out. It has to be a gold gate or better. So gold or diamond works for it. So you can see we have a gold AND gate, an autarkic gold AND gate. And you can see this one is a little bit different than the other gates. First of all, it has the option saying contains 25%, less than 25%. Contains less than 50% or less than 75%. Now basically you can see there's another slot right here. That is for you to specify what you're talking about. So we can say if this contains less than 25% of the cobblestone it can hold, which by the way is 64, it can hold 1 stack. We want it to emit a redstone signal. So if it has less than 25% or less than 16, you can see we have 13, it's still there, but once it gets to 16, it's saying, okay, it has 25% or more, and it won't emit a redstone signal. So you can also set that to 50%, and if it has less than 50%, you have to set it to the block again, then it will emit a redstone signal. Now something that you can do that's pretty cool is that let's go ahead and satisfy it with 50%. Let's put it at 100%. But what if we, let's grab some more cobble. What if we said it can hold 2 stacks? Well then, 56 is more than 50% of 1 stack, but it's not more than 50% of 2 stacks, which it can now hold. So to do that, we have to put in at least 1 stack to satisfy it. Satisfy the gate and the need for 50%. If we put 75%, does the same thing. We can also pump out items. I don't know why I have that. You can pump out items and put them into a chest as well. An emerald transport gate would be good for this because you can specify what items you want to pump out. If you want to pump out like oak or something like that. And you can tell it if it has like less than 25%, then pump out items or something. Put a redstone signal to a redstone engine and tell it to turn on. That is that block, the filtered buffer. So now let's go on to some gates. Now I need to kind of hurry because I'm running a little bit late and I want to finish these last piping things before this episode ends. So gates are a pretty extensive thing to try to cover, so I'm going to cover as much as I can, but you'll probably have to mess with them a lot to understand exactly what each one does. So my guinea pigs are going off right now, if you can hear them. I'm sorry, they're squeaking. So here we have a regular gate. And you can see we have some pipe wire, which is going all along the pipe. That basically acts as a redstone current, but it works on pipes. So what I want to do here is I want this to cook cobblestone into regular stone. So I'll put some in the chest there, but I want to do it only if the inventory is empty. I don't want to put too much or there's space in the inventory. I don't want to put too much in, so I'm only gonna say to do it when there's space in the inventory. Now you can see it's emitting a redstone signal because there is space. And we're going to set this one to say when you receive a redstone signal. I wonder why the pipe's not. The pipe wire isn't working. Let me fix that real quick. Okay guys, I apologize, it's really late and I'm kind of losing my mind here. But you're going to need an iron gate or better because it's not release a redstone signal, it's release a red pipe signal. As you can see, it now turns it on. Now this is an iron ore gate, so let's talk a little bit about that. Basically what that means is if it has space in inventory or inventory is empty, let's just say that. Or let's say if there's space in inventory or redstone signal turns on. Let's go ahead and grab a lever. Then you can emit a red pipe signal. So basically if it's one of these or the other one, then you can do it. Now let's say if we get a red pipe signal, which you need an iron one, which now I remember. Okay. Do I have our target gate that's good here? Okay, let's get in a target gate real quick. And you need an iron one. Okay, so now basically this can say, oh, now we need pipe wire. Now basically what this can say is, if you get a red pipe signal, then energy pulse. Now the target gates are the only ones that have this option, the energy pulse and the single energy pulse. What that basically means is it works like a redstone engine, it pulls stuff out. Now if you notice, like I said earlier, this is going into the side, so this is basically going to not go into the furnace, which I completely messed up there, I'll be honest. However, let's say that I want it to say a redstone signals or a redstone, what is it, items in inventory. If there's items in this furnace or a redstone signal is on, then emit a red pipe signal, which means there's no items in the inventory, but I emitted a redstone signal, so it turns on. That's the OR gates. And the higher tiers of OR gates and AND gates have more and more stuff. As you can see, you can have more and more things set than just one or two. So basically, we have the AND gate now, which works close to the OR gate, except for both conditions have to be on. So to do that, it needs a redstone signal and the inventory to be empty. So if the inventory is empty and the redstone signal is off, it's still not going to emit one because it needs this and this. And as you can see, when you supply both of those, it turns on. Now these ones, when you get to the gold and the diamond, you can start specifying, like say, if items are traversing through this pipe, then you can specify if stone is traversing through the pipe. Then put a redstone signal. And it can do red pipe signals and stuff like that as well, but it's not connected to any of the red pipe or anything like that. The red pipe wire. So these allow you to get pretty creative as far as your conditionals on the gates. And the AND gates, every single conditional has to be met, I'm pretty sure. And the gold and the OR gates, it's any of the conditionals have to be set. Now, you saw the cobblestone structure pipe already. Were used for the facades and the pipe plugs. But you can also use them to put pipe wire on. And instead of using like a regular pipe, you can say, like if I wanted to connect this to this one, I could put some cobblestone structure pipe and then run a pipe wire on it. And the redstone signal will connect, but not the actual item pipes. So that can be useful as well. Now, this is the last thing we're going to talk about, but these pipes are they're pretty complicated in some ways. This is another way to kind of do sorting in BuildCraft. So we got 3 pipes here. We got the lazuli transport pipe, which is made with lapis lazuli blocks and glass. We got the dizuli transport pipe, which is made with diamond and lapis and glass. And we got the emzuli, which is made with emerald, glass, and lapis. Now this one shows you what the lazuli and the dizuli use. So basically what we're going to say here is we want there to be, if there's no redstone signal, or if there is a redstone signal, then we'll say energy pulse. And then we want to get a lever real quick. Alright, so basically what these do, if you right click this, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't have an interface. None of them do. And neither one of these, anyway. So if you right click it though, you can see it changes color. The lazuli transport pipe will color any items that go through it, the color of the pipe. So it will make any items purple if I had it set to this. Now the dizuli transport pipe, it says which way to go by right clicking. It's like an iron pipe basically. And then you can also say by shift right clicking what colors are allowed to go that way. Okay, so if we set this to green and this one to purple, and we say send some cobble through, which is going to go into the purple, and you can see it's going to get colored purple. It has a little purple box around it. Now it's not allowed to go down the green path, so it's got to go anywhere else it can go. However, if we change this to purple, then it will say, okay, it can go down the purple path. And now we want to switch that to go that way. So now it will say, okay, purple can go that way. Well, now purple can't go that way. And it will go any way that it can. So basically you can use this to color code blocks and then organize them into different areas depending on the color. It's kind of a little bit like the red power stuff that they used to have. The pneumatic tubes and stuff and the sorting systems. So you can do some really extensive sorting with this, or you can use the diamond pipes as well. Now the last pipe and the last thing to check out in this tutorial is the emzuli transport pipe. Now this one does have a GUI. You can also see I put it in a target gold and gate there. Now, if you look at this, it has special gate conditionals. Well, it has those ones. I think actually, if you have a diamond one, it might do better here. Okay. So I believe you have special gate conditionals, but I might be wrong on that. Or maybe I have to set this up first. Probably have to set this up first. So basically what you're going to say is rose reds. Say I want rose reds in the red slot. I want it to paint these items, kind of like the lazuli transport pipe painted items. But I want it to only paint rose reds red. Then I want it to paint the rest of these different colors. Then I want that to be that. I want that to paint in green, blue, and yellow. So now you can see I have that all set up. So basically, I have these dizuli transport pipes which say red things can go here, green here, blue here, and yellow there. Now let's quickly check to see, oops, I hit my mic, if there's a special gate conditional now. No, I guess not. Alright, I thought there was for this one, but I guess there's not. So let's just quickly say redstone signal off. Oh, it does have these. It's on this side. So I can basically say if the redstone signal's off, then use the blue extraction preset. And then if this is off, I want you to activate the pulse. So we'll only pull out the blue items. Now if I don't set this, if I set it to like green or something, or red or yellow, or if I don't set it at all, you can see it will just start pulling stuff out. And as you can see, the Mzuli transport pipe is painting them. Actually, I need to set these to this. Why is that not working? There we go. Okay, it actually does have to be set to pull things out. So let's just set all these up. Okay, so now it's going to set up to pull every type of color out. Now if we look, it's all getting sorted exactly where it needs to go. Only reds are going here, only greens here, only blues there, and only yellows there. So this is a really good way to do sorting for 4 items at a time. And you can get a bunch of these set up and start sorting as much stuff as you want. As well as using the lazuli transport pipe and the diamond transport pipe. So this episode I think went a little bit long, but we finished off everything in the BuildCraft series. I'm pretty sure I covered every single block and thing you can use in BuildCraft. Now there are additions to BuildCraft, like additional BuildCraft objects and stuff like that. Wow, did you see that lightning just strike that? It was crazy. And we'll cover those mods later. But this is everything about BuildCraft and the 1.6 mod packs, which means version 4.2, I think, 4.02 or something like that. It's not the 6.1 BuildCraft stuff, so builders and stuff like that are all disabled. This is every item in the 1.6.4 mod packs, which is the current mod packs on Feed the Beast. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial series. If you did, please leave a like, because it took a lot to make this, and it would help me out a lot. Also, leave some feedback on things that different mods that I could do ModSpotlight / tutorials on. And also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already to be notified when I upload more videos like this. And we'll see you guys next time.